If you think 2026 will make you richer, you're already behind. Because 2026 isn't going to create more millionaires. It's going to expose more financially weak people than ever before. And the scariest part, most of them won't even realize what's happening. They'll blame inflation. They'll blame the government. They'll blame AI. They'll blame bad luck. But they won't blame the one thing that actually decides their financial future, their positioning. In this video, I'm going to break down why 90% of people will stay broke in 2026. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, but because the game has changed, and they're still playing by 2010 rules. Watch carefully, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. 2026 will not be a crash year. It will be a separation year, a separation between consumers and owners, between distracted people and focus builders, between emotional earners and strategic investors. And the gap will widen silently. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Income is rising in many industries, but wealth is not. People are earning more than they did 5 years ago, yet they feel more financially stressed. Why? Because income growth is visible, but asset growth is invisible. And assets are what build wealth. Now think carefully. In the last 5 years, housing prices increased dramatically. Stock markets surged, technology companies exploded. Crypto had cycles, ad companies multiplied. Who benefited? People who own, not people who work. This is the first reason 90% will stay broke in 2026. They depend entirely on labor income. Labor income is linear. Asset growth is exponential. Linear versus exponential. Over time, exponential wins. Every time. Now let's talk about distraction. 2026 will be the peak distraction economy. Short-form content. Endless scrolling. Micro-dopamine hits. Algorithmic entertainment. Attention is being fragmented daily. And wealth requires deep focus. You cannot build a long-term asset with short-term attention. But most people cannot focus for 20 minutes without checking their phone. That is not accidental. That is engineered, because a distracted population consumes more. And consumption drives economies, so the system rewards distraction. But wealth punishes it. Now layer number 3. Lifestyle creep disguised as success. You get a raise. You upgrade your life. New phone, new car, better apartment, more subscriptions. Your income increases. But your freedom does not. Most people in 2026 will earn more. And own nothing meaningful. No equity, no investments. No scalable asset, just upgraded expenses. Now here's the deeper layer. Everyone is talking about AI replacing jobs. But very few are talking about AI increasing leverage. In 2026, AI won't just eliminate low-skill jobs. It will increase productivity for people who know how to use it. That means a small number of skilled operators will produce what entire teams used to produce. And that means companies will need fewer workers, which increases competition, which pressures wages, which reduces security. But here's the twist. AI doesn't destroy opportunity. It concentrates it, for those who adapt. Now ask yourself honestly, are you learning leverage tools? Or just watching content about them, because there's a difference. Watching feels productive. Building creates assets. Now let's talk about debt normalization. In 2026, debt will feel even more normal. By now, hey later, easy credit approvals, lifestyle financing. People will finance things that don't produce income. And then complain about being stuck. Debt for consumption is a trap. Debt for assets is leverage. But most people never learn the difference. Now think about education. The system teaches you how to be employable. It rarely teaches you how to be financially independent. School trains obedience. Markets reward calculated risk. That's a mismatch, so when people graduate, they know how to follow instructions, but not how to build systems. And 2026 rewards system builders, not instruction followers. Now here's something powerful. Most people believe wealth is about earning more. But wealth is about keeping and multiplying. If you earn $5,000 a month and spend $4,900, you are fragile. If you earn $3,000 and invest $1,000 consistently, you are building. Income impresses people. Assets protect you. In 2026, protection matters more than image. Now the harsh truth, most people don't want wealth. They want lifestyle validation. They want to look successful. They don't want to become structurally independent. Because structural independence requires sacrifice. Less showing off, less comparison, more patience, more long-term thinking, and patience is rare. Now combine everything: rising asset prices, high productivity concentration, distraction economy, debt normalization, lifestyle creep, skill stagnation. That's the perfect formula for financial stagnation. And stagnation doesn't look dramatic, it looks normal. That's why 90% won't even realize it. They'll just feel tired, behind, anxious, without knowing why. And that is the real trap, because when decline is slow, it feels like life, but it's positioning. Now part B is where everything shifts, because awareness without repositioning is useless. In part B, we break down how to not be part of the 90%. So if 90% will stay financially stuck in 2026, the real question is simple: how do you avoid becoming one of them? Not with motivation, not with hustle quotes, not with temporary discipline, but with positioning. Because in 2026, positioning matters more than effort. Effort without direction leads to exhaustion. Effort with leverage leads to compounding. Let's break this down carefully. There are only two financial paths in the modern economy. Path 1, trade time for money. Path 2, build something that works without your constant presence. Most people never leave path 1 because it feels safe: predictable paycheck, monthly stability, defined responsibilities. But safe is not the same as secure. Security comes from optionality, and optionality comes from ownership. Now understand this deeply. The people who will survive and grow in 2026 are not the smartest. They are not the richest. They are not even the most talented. They are the ones who adapt fastest. Adaptation is the real currency. Let's start with the first shift you must make. Shift number 1, stop optimizing your salary. Start optimizing your leverage. Salary increases are linear. Leverage increases are exponential. For example, if you work 10% harder, you might earn 10% more. But if you build a digital asset that scales, one piece of work can earn 100 times more over time. That is the difference. Now I want you to imagine something. Two people, both earn the same income. Person A spends evenings relaxing, scrolling, watching, reacting. Person B spends evenings learning scalable skills, experimenting, building something small. After 1 year, difference is invisible. After 3 years, difference becomes noticeable. After 5 years, they live in different financial realities. Compounding is invisible at the beginning. That's why most people quit before it works.